reptiles to show you today. Just gonna grab them out here.
Yes, you are. Fine, I'll touch it.
This guy here, this is Leche, and she is our Honduran milk snake. Now, milk snakes can be found anywhere from Canada all the way down to South America, but the Honduran milk snakes are usually found in Central America, around Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. And you can see the coloring on these guys. What colors do you see on these guys? Yeah, we've got red, black, and yellow. And this is actually what they call Batesian mimicry. These guys are actually mimicking a venomous snake called the coral snake, who has the exact same colors as he does, but in a different pattern. And a good way to remember whether the snake is venomous or not is the saying, if red touches black, you're okay, Jack. If red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow. So you can see on this guy, the red is touching the black, that means he's non-venomous. He just uses that as a way to kind of frighten off the predators and know that the coral snake is venomous. And these guys actually are what we call ectothermic. Does anybody have any guess what ectothermic is? Ectothermic is the term they use for cold-blooded. So these guys actually get their heat from outside sources. So if they want to warm up, they have to either lay in the sun or lay on a warm rock. Or if they want to cool down, they'll find a shady spot. And these guys, they got the name milk snake. Does anybody think they actually drink milk? Yes? No? No, these guys don't drink milk. They actually got that name from the farmers. They live on farms, and the farmers actually saw them in the barn, and they thought that they were drinking the milk from the udders of the cows. But that's not really what they were doing. Does anybody know what lives in barns that they could be around for? Yeah, mice and rats, and their diet is mainly rodents, so they were hanging around there trying to eat the mice and rats, and they actually help control the pest population on the farms. Does anybody have any questions for me about Leche? Yes, we? These guys specifically, these are Honduran milk snakes, so they live in Central America, which is Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. But other species of milk snakes, they live all the way up Canada, all the way down to South America. Anybody else? All right, guys, how old is Leche? Leche is 11 years old, and they can live 15 to 20 years in the wild and about 20 in captivity. All right, guys, I'm going to pass the microphone off to CJ, and he's going to show you his awesome reptile.
Come sit down.
Alright guys, so as Katie said, my name is CJ and we have a reptile show. Hopefully the microphone cooperates with me. If it cuts out, I have a big enough voice so you guys can hear me hopefully. Now, my reptile that I'm going to show you is a skink. Who here has seen a skink before? We have a couple people. Have you guys seen a blue-tongued skink before? Anybody? No?
I've never heard of it.
Alright, well
I've never heard of it.
here comes our awesome blue-tongued skink. And his name is Yabo. You guys want to say hi to Yabo?
That's
Pretty
what
cool
I
looking, huh? And that's not even the coolest part about Yabo here. As his name implies, they do have a very blue tongue. So you might occasionally see him stick out that blue tongue. Now, it has a couple of very important purposes for him. Any guesses as to what he uses that blue tongue for? Any thoughts? Just shout it out. Nothing? Well, we'll have to wait until the end of the show, guys. Well, what they do when they're sticking out their tongue, we actually use our nose for. They will use their tongue to help them facilitate their smelling sense. Now, that might sound pretty weird, but a lot of reptiles have this really cool organ called the Jacobson's organ. And what that does is they stick out their tongue, they grab all these scent particles that are in the air, bring them inside their mouth and rub them on the roof of their mouth where the Jacobson's organ will be located around, and that tells their brain actually what they're smelling. So he's not really insulting you guys or anything, he's just trying to smell you guys. But then we go to the other really cool feature. Now, it is a very vivid blue if you guys haven't seen it. And if you are out in the wild and you see something that is very bright and vivid, probably not a flower, mind you, but if you see something bright and vivid, are you going to go and approach it? See, a lot of times, things that are going to be very bright and vivid out in the wild are not going to be very safe things. You can think along the lines of like a poisoned dart frog. That's not a very good thing that you want to touch. So he takes advantage of that very bright, kind of scary sense, and he will flash out his tongue at predators, and he'll attempt to scare them away with that very bright color because they'll say, this is not a natural color, I don't want to go anywhere near this. Hopefully, at least. Speaking of predators, they don't have a ton of predators. These guys are found normally in the northern Australia, so it's mostly going to be medium-sized carnivores, but these guys, they aren't very good at running. I don't know if you noticed this, but he has a little bit of a large body, and he has really teeny tiny legs. So, do you think that he's going to be setting any speed records today, or tomorrow, or any day? It'd probably take him a very long time just to get up the stairs. So, if he is going to move, they don't even lift up their body. What they do is they drag it along the ground. So they are very slow. And that's not going to help them because medium-sized carnivores tend to be pretty fast. So what the other thing they do, if the tongue doesn't scare them off, they have something on the opposite end that can help them, and that would be their tail. Now, these guys are able to have their tail come apart, or come off of their body, and they can regenerate their tail. So if they have a predator that sees something walking away and something that's kind of still and not moving much, they're going to really go for the easy target, and that is hopefully going to be the tail. Now, what do you think these guys are going to eat? Shout it out, guys. It's all good. Insects. They like insects. What else? Oh, they might try to get a spider if they can. Small what? Small animals. What else? Stuff that doesn't move too, right? They're going to eat fruits and vegetables? These guys like fruits and vegetables. So if they eat plants and animals and insects, what does that make them? Omnivore, not a herbivore, but nice try though. So these guys, they aren't very picky eaters, and they actually do have a pretty strong bite force. So one of the things that they will eat are snails, and they can actually crunch off the shell. So bad news to any snails. Now, do you have any questions for me about Yabo or the blue-tongued skinks in general? What's up? Where do they live? They can be found in northern Australia. They like the grassy woodlands, maybe even tropical areas if they can find something along those lines. They're not very picky livers, I guess. They aren't going to be very good at climbing, so it's going to be ground that you're going to find them at. Anybody else have a question for me? Going once? Going twice? All right. Now, I have one question for you. Do you think that you're going to be able to pet our animals? I got an immediate yes. Actually, will be able to pet our animals. We do have the 2-finger touch policy, which means that when you are touching our animals, we have one person at a time, only using these 2 fingers to pet them. And since we do have reptiles, we ask that you pet in the one direction, and that would be going from the head down towards the tail, but don't pet them on the head or on the tail, just on the body. If you were to go in the opposite direction, because they have scales, it can be very painful for them. If you peel off the scale to put it in context, that would be like peeling the fingernail back a little bit. It's not very pleasant, so please be nice to our guys. We have hand sanitizer at the top of the amphitheater, as well as down here at the bottom. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Just remember to take turns, guys. All good. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for coming to our show.